Hello, 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 sellers. Come on in, come on in. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling, and I have such a great eBay sales tip. I'm going to be covering eBay Ninja sales tip that many overlook. And this is a tip I see work over and over again. I share it with my membership, Love to Be Selling Insider. I share this with private clients. I've even chatted about this with staff, and yet it is such a great tip, and many sellers overlook this. Okay, so we're going to be talking about it so that you are not one of those sellers, that you know what it is and you also know how to use it, because it's not a tip where it's like a blanket, like one size fits all kind of thing. And by the way, that's happening more and more on eBay, is that you'll hear somebody share something, like I'll hear a sales tip shared by somebody. I was actually listening to somebody that sells a lot of unique collectibles. And so their philosophy pretty much is list it and forget it. Now, for things that are very long tail, and that means they're going to be sitting for a while, or things that are very unusual, you really have the only one when you do the research on eBay. You know, that is absolutely true. You do your great research, you use great keywords. You've done your research, so you got a pretty good idea of what the price is, and you list it because you're willing to let it sit there for a year, year and a half, 2 years, sometimes more. But even in collectibles, because I've had this happen to me, is you think you have the only one, and what will happen is after you list yours, somebody else will list one that is very similar, and they may undercut you, which means that theirs is going to sell before yours. It's like, no. And they may only undercut you by like $5. But if I'm looking at it, this actually happened when I was looking at a very unique collectible set of cheese knives that were from Scandinavia. And they were vintage. They were more than 20 years old. Really, really, really cute with a lot of great detail. And I priced mine about $5 under the other seller that had theirs up, and mine sold. Mine sold in about 3 months. That's what you want. It's like, what kind of tactics like that can get mine sold? Now, with that is you do list it. You do have your unique collectible. But again, even on things that are long tail that you're anticipating will take 6 months, a year and a half, it is well worth going and spending a little bit of time and just go, oh, you know, that thing that's listed, let me go and check if there's anything similar to that. Because if somebody has come in, then you can decide what you want to do. No, I'm going to stick to my price and let the other ones sell first, and then mine will sell. Or you know what, I can undercut that seller by a few dollars and incentivize the shoppers coming to me. But this is what I wanted to bring out to you. So you're listing your item on eBay. And this is true for my newer sellers and my more experienced sellers. Yes, I'm researching keywords. Yes, I'm taking a look at how fast the item is selling. Like in this category, is this something that moves pretty quickly, or is this going to be more of a long tail item? And you do want to look at price, even if there's nothing exactly like yours, the general price. And if it is something where there's a lot of the other items that are like it, it's a barcoded item. It might be a DVD or a book. It might be a designer brand or a name brand, like it is a Free People. It is an Anthropology brand. It might not be that exact top, but they're ones that are similar. So look at the price, use advanced search and Terapeak, look at solds, and typically when you're pricing, you want to go somewhere in the middle, unless yours is unusual or yours has something the others don't. For instance, with a purse, a lot of higher end purses come with a dust bag, okay? So if you have the dust bag that goes with the purse and all the other purses are selling around $50, $60, you can go to the higher end, perhaps 65, 70, 75, because you have the dust bag. And of course, you're going to call that out in the title. So look, do you have something, you know, you want to research quickly, that the others don't have? Typically, pricing right around in the middle is going to help you to get your item sold. It is worthwhile that when you're looking at solds, when you're researching, don't just look at what it's listed at. It's someone, particularly the newer sellers, can make this error. You'll do the research, you'll look at the item, and everything's listed for $200. It's like, yay, I have the $200 item. And then you go and you research the solds. Again, you can do this with advanced search. You can also do it with Terapeak. But guess what? They don't sell for $200, $300. They sell for $80. They sell for $100. Or they might sell for $200, and you'll find that out. So yes, look at what it's listed for. Yes, sort highest to lowest, besides sorting lowest to highest, because you want to see how high this category is going. And then when you look at the solds, look at what it actually sold for. So when you're doing advanced search and you're using the Terapeak filters, it's not just the completed, because completed will include items that didn't sell. You want to look at, but what did it sell for? And then you take a look at what your margins are, what you're going to do, whether you're able to go as low as that or whether you're going to go a little bit higher and you're willing to sit and wait. So the ninja tip is not all pricing is the same. The ninja tip is how long are you willing to wait? The ninja tip is even when you're waiting, periodically spot check just in case somebody comes in and undercuts you, even when you're a very unique one-of-a-kind item. Because even with unique one-of-a-kind item, other unique one-of-a-kind items that are very similar can come across. And ninja tip, does your item have something the others have? For instance, with the bag, there might be a shoulder strap. And a lot of the ones that are listed just have the regular handle. They don't have the shoulder strap. You have the shoulder strap. You have the dust bag. It might be a DVD set and there's some kind of guide that goes with it, or program guide or bonus booklet. You have it, the others don't. Or you don't have it and the others do. So always really take a look at what you are listing. The reason to look at price, and some sellers I know just like, oh, they sort of they sort of overlook that. They'll look at the solds, they get a rough idea, and then they price. But the reason why price matters, again, whether you choose to price it high, price it low, or whether you're going to go right in the middle, again, taking in consideration how unusual it is, or if you have anything extra that the others don't, or if you're missing something the others have, is price is one of the criteria for eBay's best match. Okay, so ninja tip on best match. Price is part of it. It is not the only. There's thousands of things that go into best match, but it is one of the ones that is a part of it. So again, apples to apples, pears to pears, oranges to oranges. If yours is exactly the same as somebody else, your price versus their price is a consideration, one of the considerations for best match. Why do I care about ranking well in best match as a seller, particularly if my sales are a little slow? It's because best match is the default search. It's the search that eBay goes to when a shopper comes onto eBay. And this is true on mobile and it's true on desktop. If the shopper does not use any of the filters with things ending soonest, ending later, things near them, the default search is best match, and how you're pricing is part of that criteria. And this is what I wanted to bring up while we're on the subject of best match. Another part of the criteria of best match is newly listed, ending soonest. Okay. And also, by the way, in case you don't shop on eBay, and I encourage you to shop on eBay, when you're searching certain items, like for instance, Michael Kors purse, or I'm searching Adidas sneakers, whatever it is, when something is newly listed, there's a little banner, a little toggle on it, because I was noticing this. I was just checking a category, and it says newly listed. Newly listed is part of the criteria for best match. So it helps you get like a little bump in best match. But again, newly listed. Okay. And everybody gets to be newly listed at some time, right? Because we're all listing. So that item gets to be newly listed. Okay. Is well over 70% of eBay listings now are fixed price. And this didn't used to be the case. When eBay first started, it was auction web. The majority of listings were auction. In fact, everything was auction. There was no fixed price. eBay didn't bring in fixed price till years later. Okay, so eBay started as an auction site. You may remember if you've been selling on eBay for a while or shopping on eBay for a while, Sunday night used to be the big night for ending auctions. It was also sort of entertainment night. You'd spot certain auctions and you'd sit and wait and you watch the prices going up and up and up as there would be a bidding frenzy on Sunday nights. It would be a lot of fun. And in certain categories, you will see that. I'm thinking stuff like sporting cards. You'll see something like that happening, which is a lot of fun. But because so many listings now are fixed price, and typically it's because people don't want to spend Sunday nights watching auctions ending. It's like, I want to buy it, I want to shop. And also because of being competitive with other websites where everything is fixed price. I'm thinking sites like Amazon, okay? But, and this is the thing that's interesting, because the majority of listings now are fixed price, well over 70. What that means is 20, 30% of listings are still auction. And in certain categories, with certain items, auctions do very, very well, or depending on what your goal is with your item, get it sold. Now, many times you will get a bit less with an auction than you would with fixed price. However, using an auction, you're getting that item sold in 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, rather than waiting 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years. So yes, you might be getting a little bit less, but you're getting it sold. You're moving it. It's return on your inventory. It's called your sell-through rate. It's not just how many you have listed, because you hear sellers brag about that, like, oh, I've got this listed. Oh, I've got that listed, which is great. I'm just checking my mics on. Great that you have up 500 listings, 200 listings, 50 listings, 5,000 listings. But what is your sell-through rate? What percentage of your listings are selling? And when things get a little slow, it's really worthwhile to take a look at auctions. Why? Because it gets it sold. It brings traffic to your listings. And when things are a little bit slow, yes, I can do promoted listings. Yes, I can pay eBay to advertise my items. But what's great with an auction is that I'm, without paying eBay more money, using my auctions. And do keep an eye on what categories you get auctions in, particularly if you have a store, which is primarily clothing and collectibles, is for free. I mean, you can always pay for an auction, but we want to keep the eBay fees down. Is running auctions is bringing you traffic. So yes, yay, promoted listings, but auctions bring you traffic. Auctions get your items sold. And don't forget best match. Auctions, because you're listing it, and remember, it's only running 5 days, 7 days, 10 days typically. And then you might relist it if it doesn't sell the first round in auction. You can run it in auction again. It's showing up as newly listed again. I'm getting that little nudge in best match. So I really encourage you, look at auctions, getting it sold faster. That's money in your pocket. You might make a little less, but again, the money's getting back in your pocket in 5, 7, 10 days rather than 6 months, a year and a half. And it's bringing traffic to your other items. I use auctions with my private clients and with my wonderful members. It's a strategy that I have used for years, and I've written a guide about it called The Secret Sauce to eBay Sales. And it's on a half price sale right now. If you go over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, you will see it on sale. Secret Sauce for eBay Sales. I give you how many days, when to be listing them, what categories typically do well. In fact, I was looking at a category for a client, and in the category that I was working on with her, this is what's so interesting. The majority of the items that had sold under 30 days were all auctions, and not by a little percentage. It was like 80% of the items sold by auction. And it's not necessarily a category you would think like, oh, this is a great auction category. For whatever reason, right now, and if your sales are slow, that's what you're concerned about. Right now, what's working with this category, with these kind of items to get my sales? And auctions can do that. But again, it's the strategy of when, how. If I have X amount of listings, how many auctions should I be running? In what categories? How do I pick what to put in auction? What duration do I want the auction? How often should I be doing this? Okay, it's half off, and a portion of the proceeds go to my friend Lorianne Wong's food pantry, Reflections of Trinity in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So grab this while it's on sale. It's half off. It helps you get sales. I walk you step by step through the process, exactly what to do. I explain in detail, deep dive, how auctions will help all of your eBay listings to get more traffic and to get you more sales. So do grab that while it's half off. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.